A 27-year-old suspect arrested for the rape of two nurses at Ga-Chuene Clinic, that's in Lebowakgomo in Limpopo, is set to make his first appearance in court this morning. In fact, he's set to appear at the Polokwane Magistrate's Court. The nurses were reportedly abducted and assaulted whilst on duty about a week ago. Authorities say the parolee overpowered 3 security guards before the incident. The safety of healthcare workers is now under scrutiny following this ordeal, which also raises concerns, of course, about the effectiveness of security personnel on duty, especially in response to such incidents. Let's make sense of this now. Bring in the Premier of Limpopo, that's Dr. Phophi Ramathuba, who joins us now via our videolink. Premier, it's great to have you on the SABC. Thank you very much indeed for making time. Of course, you gave a media briefing about this yesterday, but you'll forgive me if some of this information has been shared, especially for those of our viewers who weren't able to catch up with it. Let's begin with just how these 2 nurses are doing. I imagine they must be extremely traumatized still, especially given how recent this happened.
Morning, Ayanda, and morning to your viewers out there. Yes, indeed, I can confirm because I visited our 2 nurses last week. And even though the physical scars might heal or will heal fast, but the effect of the matter is that the emotional trauma that they've undergone, the mental health, their psychological trauma, it's something that will take a long time for them to recover. Given the situation, to say, you ask yourself that they were on duty to try to save lives, and then now they risk their lives for trying to save their lives. So that contradiction, it's something that worsen their situation, comparatively speaking to any other trauma that you could have sustained while you are given their own situation. Their plea to me was that, Premier, if the perpetrator could be arrested, at least we will be able to find closure, maybe, perhaps. And that is why yesterday we had to applaud the South African Police Services, the Provincial Commissioner, Meha Debe, because working together with her and the entire team, we have been able to apprehend this perpetrator. Oh, by the way, it's a monster who has failed rehabilitation because he is currently on parole. And I think you can see for yourself that this monster, even after that erroneous act that he did at the Ga-Chuene Clinic, it did not stop him. He continued to harass other community members. There are other cases of housebreaking and another attempt on another clinic, even after that incident, while he was still on the run, while the police were still investigating the Ga-Chuene Clinic.
Yeah. You mentioned that there's been another attempt because, in fact, that second try he made was unsuccessful, which raises questions, of course, about how the guards at Ga-Chuene specifically handled this matter. 3 of them on duty at the time against this lone suspect. I know you had several questions yourself around how on earth this one person was ultimately able to make it through 3 security guards and ultimately get to the point where they assault these 2 nurses.
I think we can, as society, defend the security guards as much as we want to and continue to blame the government even on this case. But the reality, it's high time that as society we need to really look into the matters in an objective manner. I listened to both cases, the investigation. Firstly, the Ga-Chuene case, to start with, the stories do not make sense to me. Hence, I have mandated and directed the MEC for Health together with the HOD to investigate even the security company itself. Up to date, even the company has not even shown their face to come and really share with us what is their finding in terms of investigating, because it is an adverse event, and the service level agreement, it's very clear that when situation of this matter occur, they should be able to give feedback and do their own internal investigation. They indicated to us that it was not one, they were attacked by men. We only discovered through police investigation and the two nurses that actually it was one individual who entered the guard house and tied two of the males, and the female guard walked with her to the consulting room where the nurses were, and that's when he kidnapped them and leave the female guard unharmed, was not touched. The cell phone was not confiscated for whatever reasons that are known to him. But our question is, immediately after he has left, we expected her to call the police, to call her superiors, to call him. Nothing of that was done. Actually, it's only 5 hours later that we were able to be informed of this incident. And when even the police were not even called by the security guards. So that is a question, and those are some of the questions I would want answers.
Sure.
Hence, we don't want to make conclusion or judges, but we should be able to. And on the second clinic, as you have indicated, 2 guards were patrolling around the clinic. The one guard was left in the guardhouse when this perpetrator came. He fought until the 2 came and the perpetrator ran away. So these are 2 incidents which are almost similar. He was armed in both incidents, but the other incident, we show how our security personnel responded.
Got you. Premier, briefly, if you can, is this particular security company still in operation at the Ga-Chuene Clinic, given the very clear and I think fair concerns you've raised?
I think what you should appreciate is that the Department of Health, which is their responsibility to appoint the security company, their first concern was the well-being of the 2 nurses, which I applaud them. They've done well to make sure that they do receive healthcare after that incident. They do receive psychological support. Their families, their husbands are also gone through counseling, the children, and the focus was that, while at the same time another parallel process of investigating if there was any security breach from the company. But equally, the clinic had to be closed because at that time I supported and I stood by the MEC to say, you open the clinic, who is supposed to be raped, whose daughter, whose wife, whose aunt must be raped, until the perpetrator is arrested, because he was on the run. We didn't know whether he would come back, and the staff was traumatized.
Sure.
That is why now that he's arrested, the team is currently meeting and planning to say how will we start operating and normalizing the situation, which the fact of the matter is that it will never be normal. But the security company, I can confirm that it's under investigation, and the security guards were on duty. The cases are being investigated. As soon as they are done with their findings, they will be able to brief me, because I have given them very tight time frames. We are in a litigative environment. You can't just wake up and say, security company, you are terminated today. You might end up having to pay a lot of money after they've taken you to court. So the best way is to remain calm, focus on the important things, which was the well-being of our nurses, but at the same time follow all processes so that we can, guided by the PFMA, if needs be, as per the report, terminate the contract.
Sure. All right. I suppose the answer then is yes. Premier Phophi Ramathuba, thanks very much indeed for your time. Really do appreciate it. That, of course, is the Premier, as I mentioned, of Limpopo, Phophi Ramathuba, as we make sense of really what is a horrific development that unfolded in Lebowakgomo at Ga-Chuene Clinic.